So you have to do the practice every day without fail, minimum for a period of 3 to 4 months. And then you will recognize how the mind changes, how you are able to reduce your fatigue level. So at present, it appears that what I'm saying, it appears like a joke, but when you do by yourself, you apply it in your life, any age, you will find the level of calmness and relaxation in the body. And then you will start thinking, oh, the medical science says I have to eat this to maintain the energy. But whatever you are eating and you are able to maintain that energy level, you remain relaxed. Your heart rate, your pulse rate, they remain normal and sometime below the normal. Below normal is considered as the best. 65. So my blood pressure remains almost 75 by 110. 78, 110. So you will find that result. But if you say, I have done the practice today, I don't get the result. No. It takes time to help the body to settle into that state. And whenever you have time, so one time you have to be regular, fix the time, and second time, if you have a time, just do it. Pick up any, pick up the last one, and if you see that the last one is not giving you the result, go to the second last. So that is how you are able to progress. We will return to our journey for the purification of the mind. We have been understanding the conventional methods to purify the mind. And if we don't purify the mind, you think in a very straightforward. This mind accepts everything, the way the space accepts everything. Mind, because why? The role of the mind is to perceive, perception. It perceives everything, good, bad, high, low, sleep, waking, dream. It accepts everything. Pain, pleasure, likes, dislikes. So you can categorize them into two categories, negative and positive. Negative is impure mind and positive is the pure mind. Now, except the human beings, except the human beings, no living being has a choice. I recognize it is a positive and it is negative, it is impure and it is pure. So the moment I have a recognition, I choose the negative, I become a sinner. Then go to the priest to confess your sin. Nothing is going to happen. To confess your sin? No. So I have to decide which mind I have to nurture. If I nurture the positive mind, obviously it is a purification of the mind. If I nurture the negative, how I nurture? Oh, that guy is so crazy. So you are trying to keep a balance of every individual on this earth. This guy is so bad and that guy is so bad. We spend almost 50% of our time in this. So I'm nurturing the negative mind. No, no, but I'm criticizing others. But it is happening in your mind. Are you getting it? It is happening in your mind. So when I'm supporting those negative thoughts, feeling, and emotions, I'm nurturing the negative mind. It will cause the impurity. and then I become a sinner. Animals do not become a sinner. The tiger eats and kills, the deer, no sin. Why? No intellect is there. No choice is there. No choice is there. They are programmed by nature. I discussed in detail when I gave that workshop in New Jersey. The nature is programmed, but I can bypass the nature to excel in my life. There is no reason. So think of it. It is same thing like a garden or patio or your backyard. You grow your garden. You see, the earth and the soil does not do any discrimination. Flowers and the weed grow side by side. Huh? I have seen the garden of Anne. It's a wonderful garden. I have seen a couple of times. So you see, the weed also grows. Same thing with the mind. What we do with the weed, you know it. That is what we need to do consistently. We need to do it consistently, regularly. How? You are living consciously day by day. You are talking to people, you're honey, you're going to a store, you're talking to friends and everyone. In everyday life, I have to live consciously to nurture the positive mind. That is the secret. No, no, but he inserted me. Because insert, you felt it inside your head. Don't feel that insert. You don't feel that, then there's hardly any insert. Insert is not outside. So that idea, that feeling, and that emotion of insert lies in me. That is my interpretation. So the mind gives the interpretation through the negative side. So I'm nurturing the negative mind. Until that takes place, and if we think that we can find the real self, there is no possibility. So if the mind blames and complains and reacts and hesitates on anything, it is a weed. I have to stop nurturing it. So what should I do? First stop nurturing it, then use the intellect to think it, that I had some expectations from you, but you did not meet my expectations, and you insert. That is why I feel it is an insert. Think. We have to, because we are thinking living beings, we have to use our intellect. You have to understand it clearly. So as I said, that weed and the flower plant both grow from the same soil, so we have both the tendencies present in the mind all the time. All the time. Especially, when we are living with the near and dear ones, we know, oh, no, no, don't say this thing, otherwise he will be upset, he will react. We know it. So it means it is already present as an accumulated impressions in my deep recesses of the mind. And that accumulated impressions which I experienced, which I felt, which I repeated, they go for trillions in numbers. And it is known as vasana. Vasana simply means sitting inside the mind. And that vasana is triggered by any event. Any event. So that mind projects that event by an imagined pain or pleasure. And again, we start nurturing the weed. So I have to live consciously from the moment that I do not feed and nurture the impurity. So, but it is a challenge that, nurture, I don't want to nurture. So, we introduce the six conventional methods of purification. We take the root. What is the root? Act of selfishness or act of selflessness. You start with your honey, you start with your near and dear ones. Because our act of selfishness, our act of ego is so deep, especially with the honey, with the parents, with the brothers, with the sisters. I don't want to talk to them. And that further strengthens the conflict. So there comes the role of yajna. There comes the role of yajna. Same thing with so the idea, you have to keep that idea in your mind, a sense of givingness or sense of grabbing. So when you see that sense of grabbing is there in your mind, it is going to create an impure states of the mind. You can give mentally, you can give emotionally. It is nothing to do about only the physical and the material things. We discussed in the charity. The third one we discussed, uh, yajna, tapa, dan, tap. Then we discussed about the self-discipline. I maintain that level of a self-discipline. One is known as the tapa. Tapa, English translation is austerity. Literal meaning is the heat up. So I heat up means that I become more aware, extraordinarily aware when any negative tendencies arise in my mind, and then I put into a self-discipline. Another modern term, but which does not fit clearly, it is known as that I have to leave a comfort zone. I have to leave a comfort zone. That doesn't fit clearly. Another word used for self-discipline is known as the titiksha. Titiksha is here the endurance. I voluntarily leave the comfort zone and I say that I will do it. Almost for the last 2 or 3 years, you already know the Indian food with full of spices and aroma and fragrance. I have left bread, I have left the rice, almost it has been for 3 years. It is known as the tapa, self-discipline. I have to leave that comfort zone. I just eat salad as a breakfast in the morning and a protein-rich diet and left other stuff. So whether it is in eating, whether it is in living, in speaking, and the other is the titiksha. Titiksha is another discipline where sometimes you have a pain in the body. What you have to do, you have to endure it. So because of that endurance, you raise your emotional quotient. That is also the purity of the mind. So in modern science, we say emotional quotient, and in Eastern wisdom, we say we are purifying the mind at the emotional level and also at the physical level. So these are the conventional methods. We are moving to the best method to purify the mind. Also, why I'm not listening the conventional method? If you don't listen the conventional method, you don't prepare the foundation, and it will not work. The best method will not work. You have to follow that. There has to be some sense of inner peace. Clarity should be there. The calmness should be there. We have reached to a state of harmony. Previously, we had some duality and a conflict. with many people, but now I have bypassed that conflict in my mind. So that mind, which is relaxed, calm, and poised, can take up the highest method for the purification of the mind. But if you think that, okay, I will go only for the highest, no, it will not work. It can work in a product. You can buy the latest smartphone. But how can you buy the latest mind which is calm and poised? You have to use the conventional method to prepare a strong foundation. And what is the best method? It is used by the intellect. It is known as the self inquiry. That is why I labeled all your sessions as a self inquiry. So, one is a conventional method of those practices, and other is the self inquiry. You have a pain, you cannot tolerate and endure the pain. So, the impressions from the mind taken over the intellect, you cannot do the self inquiry. That is why the conventional methods are very important in our daily living. And why? Because you are applying in the daily life. It becomes gradually it becomes your habit, and you replaced by the other negative habits of the mind. Why? We understand, I have told you many a times, that this impurities of the mind is like a curtain. It veils. So, I always keep the blackout curtain behind, otherwise, you will not be able to see me. But can you say if I put the blackout curtain, the sunlight has gone? No. Did the sunlight is destroyed? No. It is still there. So, the same way, there is a veil of impurity, and the real self is behind that. So once I recognize it, purification of the mind simply means that I am removing the veil of curtain. And then we have a beautiful experience of that real self, of the nature of peace and happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. That is the objective of the entire Eastern wisdom. That is the objective of entire Eastern wisdom. So these six conventional practices we have to understand how to apply in daily life, that I discussed in detail. So when you apply that in your daily life, your behavior and attitude will undergo a tremendous change. Now, I've been saying, one guy was telling me in Monday's session, "Oh, I've been telling my honey to join your session. It is so good. It is helping so much, but he doesn't like to join the session. Can you tell me why?" I said, "It is because of you. Did you change your attitude? I did not talk to your honey. It's only because of you. What should I do?" I said, "That's what I'm telling you. You are attending the session, you do the practice, and experience. Do you experience the change in your behavior and attitude? No, only I cannot change before my honey. I show my change in behavior and attitude with everyone except my honey. So, how can you expect that he will join my session?" Also, it's because of the ego. I said, big ego. No, but he doesn't want to drop. I said, "You are learning Eastern wisdom, you drop it. You take the initiative first." So even after attending so many sessions, we don't change. we keep that impure mind intact with us. Think, think, my friends. So it's, the journey appears to be very easy, but every time we create some barrier, we create some curtain, and that takes us again to the ignorance. One lady was saying again. She was saying that, very interesting. I forgot it, but very interesting. I'll tell you later. So it is big. Why it is happening? The lack of self-understanding. All the principles explain us that who am I? What is the self-understanding? Am I made to think, speak with the impure mind? I disturb myself and I disturb others. So it's a lack of awareness. If you have an ego, so I have a big ego, I will also settle the score with you. Eastern wisdom says you just drop it. Why? Because you want calmness, you want relaxation in your life, you want peace in your life. Do we dare to do that? Then I will tell you that once you succeed in changing your behavior and attitude, your honey will ask you that how come you have changed your attitude, and then you simply say I'm attending the lesson, and he will definitely join, because he will think, I know no one can change my honey, but now she has changed. So there is something special. No, no, you join the session. You should change. I told her that you kept your ego that I am changing by attending the session, but you are not changing. But internally, you keep that unchanging attitude. Are you understanding that? So sometimes we become a hypocrite also. I did not say to her that you are a hypocrite, but that is the fact. So that is what is all about, the purification of the mind. Well, I'll have one or two more sessions on conventional method, and after that we will directly go to the self-inquiry method, the best method. Why, how, where, when. It gives you the instant result. Leave this, close your eyes. Let us start our practice today to apply these principles. Understand the place of the body. Place of the body is your house. Limit it to the room. And then further limitation, become aware of the space all around your body. And then look at the eyes are closed gently. You are not squeezing your eyes. Sometimes we keep the eyes squeezed into the entire practice. One guy told me, and that is I learned from you guys. So don't no squeeze. Check the entire cheeks and the body, that there is no unease and discomfort, pressure on any part of the body, so that you feel the position of the body. Your mind likes it, your mind wants to continue, so that becomes your posture. I'm not going into the posture we talk in hatha yoga. There are many postures and we stretch. There should not be any stretching. And then you see that we go for, at least you understand by the place, position, and the posture, you are not struggling. If you are struggling, impure mind has taken over your practice, and the result will not come. And then what? Then you are going to blame me that nothing is happening. Obviously, nothing will happen. So understand, we all are seekers now. We are taking a plunge into the subtler principles. Then the second step, I say being comfortable. And in explaining being comfortable, I say that we change the direction of the mind. This mind is scattered outside in millions of directions in the world, with people, with relationship, with whom you discussed, in whom you talked, with whom you got angry and agitated. This mind is scattered in millions of directions. So what we are doing, we are asking the mind to look at the joints of the body under, with understanding. So what we do, you look at the neck joint, and then I said you look deep inside. You look deep inside. Do not start thinking, just be aware, feel. You are looking inside into the space or darkness in the beginning, and then experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. What happened? You change the direction of the mind. The state of the mind changes. You change the direction of the mind. The state of the mind changes to either to calmness or poise or relaxation. It is going to happen instantly. The subtler we go, but at present we are understanding, changing the direction. The state changes. Look at the shoulder joints. Mentally you are looking at the shoulder joints. I'm not asking you to look at your honey or your enemy or any object outside. Then look inside the shoulder. You find there is a sense of the space of the darkness. Check that the mind stays there and you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The entire body. First, look at the entire body from the top of the head to the toes, the space all around the body and the skin of the body, and then the joints inside the body. So, by being aware of the space, by being aware, of the space all around, you see all around the body, feeling the sensation on the skin of the body, and then looking inside the body. You see how you are educating the mind, how you are educating the mind leads to sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You can do only this step couple of times. Say, someday you are agitated with a guy, and then you do being comfortable. So, what is going to happen? The emotions, negative emotions that is boiling in your mind, you want to express, you will give a break. You just withdraw yourself. Eastern wisdom is 24 by 7 journey. And now we will move to being carefree. Again, I gave a very simple example of being carefree. A couple of weeks ago, I gave an example. The sky is there, it does not change even if millions of birds are flying. The sky continues to remain there. So I created a metaphor. You look inside your heart or the forehead in the space. Be aware that space does not change. And on that space, the way in the sky the birds are flying, in the space inside the forehead, The birds, in the form of it, thoughts, feeling, and emotions, are flying. Why they are flying? They are moving. Why they? I say that they are moving. No thought stays permanently. You will recognize one thought is replaced by some other thought. So what does not change is the space. So maintain that awareness of one that does not change and others that all change. And what changes does not belong to me. Are you getting it? What changes cannot be me. Cannot be me or I am. It means what? It means what do you know? I am not anxiety. I am not delusion. I am not reaction. I am not blame, complaint. How come? I may be anxiety, but I cannot remain in anxiety 24 by 7. I may blame someone, but after 24 hours or after a week, the mind dissolves that idea of a blame. It is your experience. I'm not saying it. I'm not imposing. Oh, that gives me the idea of being a carefree, that there is something deeper where the thought, feeling, and emotions do not touch. Oh, yes, that is. And then we keep our in that state, being carefree, place, position, and posture, and then awareness. Three bodies awareness. There is a physical body. You look at your entire body just in awareness. Physical body, we have senses supported by the mind. We have five senses and five motor organs. You are just aware. So now you see the subtle body is the master of the physical body. If the mind, so what is the subtle body? It is the mind, intellect, our ego, and memory. If I say close your eyes, and if you don't have a memory of what is I and what it means by closing, you will keep staring at me. What did you tell me? So it is the mind that passes the information, that is known as the subtle body. Subtle body has four components. Then there is a causal body, which is the cause of both. Cause of both the physical and cause of both physical and subtle body. Cause means what? It is formed by, it is formed by the causal body. Yes, it is formed by, and what is causal body? It is the ignorance. What is the ignorance? The millions of impressions from this birth and previous creates the physical and the mental body in order to exhaust my karma, in order to fruiten all those impressions in this very life. So we will now, behind the causal body, behind that, behind the causal body, is the real self. I don't know. Very simple answer, I don't know. So we use the mantra in the mind to point out. Why? So that the mind can undertake the journey. So which mantra we have been doing? We have been doing Asatoma Satgamaya Mangala Charan. We say it is only Mangala Charan. So we do it by contemplation and reflection. What is that contemplation and reflection? Understand every day in the morning or during the day, if you do it, you will find out it has it. So first recite the mantra. Asato ma sat gamaya. Asato ma sat gamaya. Asato ma sat gamaya. Then go to the meaning. This is meaning moving from false to real. Then knowledge part. So you think every day. False means all anxiety, duality, conflict, anger, agitation, all the impurities of the mind belongs to the false. And what is real? Of the nature of permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. So you just put this impression in the mind, and once this impression becomes seed, and then ignorance is gone. So that is the first. What is the second line? Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Moving from ignorance to wisdom. What is ignorance? Curtain of impurities in the mind. Ignorance also means that I don't know. Have you ever thought before learning Eastern wisdom the idea of the false I and the real I? No. So because I'm ignorant of the real I, and that is the journey. The third line is Mrityorama Amritan Gamaya. Mrityorama Amritan Gamaya. Mrityorama Amritan Gamaya. Mrityor means fear of death. Fear of death because I'm born. What is born can always have death. So what this message is? What is the message? A real self is unborn, uncreated consciousness. What is uncreated, unborn, will continue to be there. No, but I don't believe it. That is what we are embarking on a journey. You just start with the journey and ultimately we prove it. So that is the stage number one of this meditation that we are following. And then in the stage 2, we continue to purify our mind. Purify the mind. But we purify the mind by a couple of steps. You look inside the forehead. Look inside the forehead. Keep looking into the space so the mind remains inside. And then you start breathing from the chest. Continue breathing from the chest. Looking into the space inside the forehead. First thing. Second thing, you are breathing from the chest. Breathing from the chest. Third point, you expand your ribs while breathing in and squeeze your ribs while breathing out. So that why we are doing, we are raising awareness. So mind remains inside, does not wander. Continue breathing. So we'll be adding, there will be 3 stages, and in every stage we'll continue to add some more steps. Why? To go deeper into the meditation. Continue breathing. And now, after stop the breathing, become aware of the breath, and now recognize there is a change. You look at the head and the neck. Another step in the stage 2. In the stage 2, we are doing 2 steps. This is the second one, looking at the head and the neck and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So looking at the right arm. So first find out, you move your mind on the entire right arm. So you start feeling the sensation. Gradually you will find these sensations may become tingling, may become freezing, may become cold or heat or heaviness or lightness. Indication. What that indicates, the mind is going deeper within. Simple. Then we find there is a relaxation, calmness, and what is very important, you will discover the motionless state of the body. What is that indicates? Motionless state of the body. Means what? The mind is now not disturbing, the mind is not agitating the body. That would be a good state. Look at the left arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The mind goes to the chest, the rib cage, and the belly, the middle portion of the body, shoulder down to the chest and the belly in the front, and the shoulder blades and the spine at the back. Take your time and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Mind goes to the right leg from the right side of the waist to the hip, thigh, knee, calf, ankle, heel, sole, right toe, the entire right side, right leg, and then you experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The left leg, from the left side of the waist to the toes, take your time, moving the mind on the skin of the left side of the body. Your awareness is totally free. It does not take into consideration uh, any issue from outside. To be ruthless, your awareness directly feels the left leg without the clothes. That is what I say, ruthless. So what happened? That is subtle awareness, and experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The mind goes to the entire body from the top of the head to the toes and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So these are the two steps of the stage two, where we purified the mind, one, and we move the mind deeper within. And now the stage three, just looking at the flow of the breath, looking at the flow of the breath, flow of the breath from both the nostrils, flow of the breath. When you see the flow is equal, it is a deeper state of meditation, whether you recognize or you do not recognize. Oh, so sometime I may be in a deeper state of meditation and I don't recognize. The answer is yes. So just pay attention to the flow of the breath, and when the breath in, just drop Shanto hum mentally, looking into the inner space. When the breath moves out, drop Shanto hum, being aware of the infinite space outside. Both spaces are one, but the mind divides. That is the problem we resolve. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it in your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences now. How are you, Charlie?
Hi, Girish. Good. What I've been noticing the past couple of weeks is when I've been meditating, I've been getting really intense sensations from my body.
Good.
Like my feet get really cold, or whilst I was doing this, I got really cold feet, and then the middle of my back started to get very painful. So I was observing it, but it took so much. It was hard work not to move. I felt like my body wanted me to move, but I didn't. But it was a real challenge.
Yes. Keep that challenge intact to the mind if the body doesn't move in the beginning. Later on, even if it moves, once the past impressions are released, it is okay. But in the beginning, we have to endure it, we have to follow a certain discipline. So it's a sign of the progress that you are undergoing a lot of sensations and experiences. Very good. How are you, Sophie? We don't hear you, even if it is open. Namaste, no problem. How are you, Anne? No, not yet. In the meantime, we will talk to John.
Hey, Girish. There was a lot going on in this in this practice. A lot of different practices, right? And so I think to get the maximum out of it, I've got to listen to it a few more times.
Yes, yes. My mind prompted me an example when I'm driving a car. My focus remains on the driving, on the speed, on the rear and the front traffic, and also on the lane. At the same time, I'm talking. Same time, I'm also thinking. So, in the practice, we need that awareness, that focus of driving. While other thoughts are coming and going, let it come and go. But yes, it comes by not only understanding and the practice. But you feel calm and relaxed? No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. How are you, Anne?
Okay.
Yes, it is okay now.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel fine. Except there were last 2 weeks, lots of things were going on, so it went parallel what I'm doing or thinking. But uh, it was there, but it didn't disturb me too much.
Beautiful.
But I could not push it out because
Yeah, a lot of
the
things are
conditions I had, they probably were quite strong.
very good. Lot of things are going on, but it did not disturb you. So you keep all those activities at a bay. You see
Right.
that waking, sleeping, and dream states, how every day we have been passing through waking, dream, and the sleep, days after, weeks after, months after, years after. But there is one I that did not change,
Mm.
that never changed until today. So if we develop that awareness, we can approach to the real self. Take that example into your daily life. Daily life, millions of things are going to happen, some expected, some unexpected. It is definitely going to happen. That is the way. I do not have control over it. Oh, let it come and let it go.
Mm.
I maintain the poise. When I maintain the poise, I move into the purity of the mind. That purity of the mind can recognize and experience the real self. Nothing happens to the water. You have many waves. Waves rise, go fall. Means wave takes the birth, falls, dies. Body takes the birth, dies. Waking dies in sleep, sleep dies in waking. But there is someone inside me that is always present. Nothing happens to it. Beautiful. How are you meet?
I feel a sense of safety
Good.
and stillness.
Beautiful.
And yes, and
Sense.
sort of simplicity in some way of getting rid of some stuff.
Yes, first is the intellectual understanding, and we are clear. It is my car, I am not the car. So it is my body, I am not the body. It is an intellectual understanding. But this intellectual understanding cannot reach to an experience and a realization that I am not the body. Why I said so? The moment you have an experience and a clear separation that here I am and here is the body, I am not the body, you have an ultimate safety in your life.
Hmm.
The fear of birth and the death dissolves. So the death of the body will not come. I told you what is created has to die. That's the law of the universe. But I discover that my real self neither takes birth nor dies. That is what the awakening is. That is all for today. Thank you very much. We
Thank
will
you.
meet again.